from the nation's capital. WJLA TV Channel 7 brings you comprehensive coverage of the day's events. News 7 at 6.
It was homecoming in Zachary, Louisiana today as that small town's big hero was welcomed home. Good evening, I'm Robin Chapman. Redskins quarterback Doug Williams was formally honored by his hometown in a celebration today, and News 7's Jim Berry is standing by in Zachary with a live report. Jim, must have been quite a day.
I tell you, Robin, it is still quite a day. The festivities are still going on. This is perhaps the biggest day Zachary, Louisiana has ever had. We are live right now at Zachary High School. As you can see behind me, the stands here are full. There is a crowd of people along the fence here. All of these people love Doug Williams. They were part of a crowd of several thousand people who enjoyed the parade earlier today. Let's take you back a couple of hours to the beginning of Doug Williams Day. This tiny Louisiana town erupted in celebration for the local boy who made it big. Some of the people who have shared in Doug Williams' athletic career joined in the celebration, including former and current teammates.
When I first came to Zachary, Louisiana, I thought there were only about 300 or 400 people here, and looking out here today, I see over 25,000 people. It's a great honor. I mean, Doug Williams has really done a great deal for this community, and the people are showing their support by coming out and supporting him today.
All the way down here, just for Doug?
Oh, just for Doug. Hey, look how much he did for us. Anything to support Doug, we down here.
Also joining in the party, a large contingent from Washington. The man of the hour smiled and waved patiently, while the crowd closed in for a glimpse or a handshake. As you can see right now, Doug Williams is at the podium. The crowd here just started cheering. A lot of dignitaries here in Zachary, Louisiana to honor Doug Williams, among them D.C. Mayor Marion Barry. Quite a day. This town of 8,500 has never seen anything like this. And as you see, Doug Williams receiving one of his many awards. It's been quite a humbling experience for the Super Bowl MVP, who thought that perhaps after the big parade in Washington, he'd be getting away from all this. Not hardly. The folks who love him and know him best are doing it best. That's the story here from Zachary, Louisiana. Robin will have a lot more coming up at 11.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Looks like an even bigger fuss than the nation's capital.
That's right.
As we continue tonight, homeless advocates held a public funeral today for 2 homeless people who died on district streets in January. Dozens of homeless and other mourners bundled up against the cold and gathered around the simple coffins for the service at Western Plaza across from the district building. It took a legal battle before a U.S. district judge overruled city officials and turned the 2 bodies over to Mitch Snyder and his community for creative nonviolence. City officials said they thought such an open-air funeral would be repulsive, but Judge Thomas Jackson said it was no different from the public funerals of U.S. presidents at the Capitol.
The lying in state of presidents in the Capitol Rotunda with the public filing through. The only difference is these are poor people, these are homeless people, but we see no less reason to honor them publicly than we see for the other public funerals that occur in Washington.
The bodies of Henry Dixon and an unidentified woman were found January 2nd and 7th in the district. Their remains will now be cremated and stored in CCNV's district shelter. It's not the homeless but drug dealers that are being blamed for a rash of fires in Northwest Washington. The fires are igniting abandoned buildings where drug transactions are taking place. News 7's Kathy Wolf reports it's just the kind of thing the mayor's new drug offensive is designed to wipe out.
At yesterday's press conference, Mayor Marion Barry announced the district's new offensive in the war on drugs.
Today I'm announcing the beginning of Operation Fight Back. We're going to reclaim our streets and save our children.
The mayor wants the public to help by making suggestions. Gary Hyde and his neighbors know just where to start. Near 12th and T Street, an entire row of abandoned buildings is a haven for drug dealers. They build fires to keep warm.
Twice within 24 hours?
Yes, that house has been burnt twice within 24 hours.
And that was just 4 days ago. Fires in abandoned buildings are becoming a common occurrence. Even today, this open barrel was burning, though most of the people around it left when they saw our camera. Hyde has called the fire department about the barrels, but is told it's not against the law.
They also have said that this is a homeless situation, but this is definitely not a homeless situation.
These are drug dealers?
These are all drug dealers. You can see people come in, get out, make a transaction, and leave.
There is plenty of evidence to make the point. Even though the inside of this house was charred, we could still find hypodermic needles on the floor. Police say patrolling the area won't put a stop to it.
1350 Clifton, we just arrested 5 people about 35 minutes ago in a vacant. They broke into a vacant room.
At this point, there probably is no solution other than either tearing the buildings down or boarding them up to the point where the drug users can't go back in them.
Boarding up houses is already one part of Operation Fight Back. There are hundreds of them around the city. With 5 fires in the past week, people living here think 12th and T Street Northwest would be a good place to start. Kathy Wolf, News 7, Washington.
30 New York firefighters were injured overnight as they battled fire, cold, and high winds at a famous city high school. Fire broke out just after midnight at the Liberty High School, once a performing arts high that inspired the movie Fame. Most firefighter injuries were caused by falling debris as they fought the inferno on 4 floors of the 6-story building. 4 firefighters were hospitalized, but none are thought to be seriously injured. The high school was vacant at the time of this blaze. Still to come on News 7 at 6, the debate in the Granite State on the campaign trail in New Hampshire, and the flame of competition. Let the games begin.
Washington's birthday truck savings at Sheehy Ford. Ranger pickups $123.79 a month. A purchase, not a lease. Rangers $123.79 a month and no down payment. Aerostar wagons with air, automatic overdrive, cassette, $236.75 a month. These Aerostars are loaded. Seat 7 passengers, just $236.75 a month with no down payment. Sale prices on conversion vans, full-size pickups, 4x4s, all at Sheehy Ford, where unless this emblem is on your truck, you probably paid too much.
Think big. Think big bucks. Think about winning big bucks in the new Lotto America game. Yes, Lotto America, the nation's first coast-to-coast multi-state lottery game. Starting February 13th, tune into Channel 7 Saturday nights at 10:59 and see if you're a winner in a prize pool bigger than, I don't know, but Lotto America is big. So remember, the only way to win big is to think big. Think Lotto America.
The 3/4 at Burger King with new Hot Toppers.
Well, they're hot, and they're called Hot Toppers. 3 double cheeseburgers, they're a quarter pound. You got a double desire.
They're gonna put on the fire.
There's barbecue sauce
with cheese and bacon too.
Tasty ham and cheese and sure to please, and you don't want to miss any mushroom and Swiss. But Hot Toppers won't last, so get to Burger King fast.
Hot Toppers, appearing for limited engagement.
We know how burgers should be.
Though it narrows the field of contenders, Al Haig's departure from the Republican race brings no joy to Vice President George Bush. That's because Haig left, promising his support and vote to Bush nemesis Bob Dole. Dole is now neck and neck with Bush in the New Hampshire race, one Bush was once expected to win easily. At the back of the pack, Jack Kemp and Pat Robertson are battling hard for position there. Kemp's accusing Robertson of smearing his campaign by labeling him a pornography supporter. Robertson's denying the charge. Tonight in New Hampshire, the Democratic candidates for president meet in debate. Neighboring Governor Michael Dukakis is expected to win easily in the Granite State, and so News 7's Susan King reports the focus for Democrats is on who will come in second in Tuesday's primary.
On the Democratic side, the race for the number 2 spot is a hot one. Either Senator Simon will win or Congressman Gephardt, and the other will be out of the presidential race. Iowa's frontrunner Gephardt is really on the defensive, criticized by the media for changing on the issues, and the object of negative ads from Senator Simon. Last night, Gephardt came out swinging, charging that Simon either should remove the ads or his bow tie, or he'll be just like every other politician. Simon refused to take off the bow ties and the television ads. But when he faced off with an audience of environmentalists, it was a subdued, sleepy Simon. He didn't even mention Gephardt by name. Simon seemed to be trying to prove Democratic frontrunner Michael Dukakis' charge that he's old-fashioned.
I have been there, whether it is preserving our National Park Service or preserving our air, our water, or our soil. I have been in the fight.
New England activist voters are not like Iowa's, and Simon's Fire in the Heart theme doesn't seem to play as well here.
But
high-energy, high-tech TV candidate Gephardt immediately connected with the same audience, hitting all the right on for the environmental chords.
And if you will stand for change in 1988, we can do it. We've got to make the gimme decade the give back decade.
Some wondered whether Gephardt was promising every group whatever they wanted, but he clearly charged a skeptical audience, and polls show him ahead of Simon. Gephardt's vulnerability, his changes on the issues. The Boston Globe's editorial cartoon today satirized Gephardt's morning choice. Should he dress as the insider or as the down on the farm, one of the people? Gephardt must address charges of issue flip-flops. So tonight's Democratic debate is make or break for Simon or Gephardt, and it's important for all the Democratic contenders because it's the last big event before Election Day, and a stumble tonight will be headlines from now till then. In New Hampshire, people usually make up their mind at the last minute. I'm Susan King in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Susan King will have a live report from New Hampshire tonight on News 7's Late Edition. A former presidential contender is awake and alert today at Walter Reed Army Hospital. Senator Joe Biden is listed as seriously ill as he recovers from surgery for an aneurysm at the base of his brain. He had been complaining of persistent neck pain for weeks. Doctors say the procedure did not require any brain tissue removal, and there's every indication the senator will recover fully. Biden dropped out of the race for the Democratic nomination following plagiarism charges. One of the youngest men ever elected to the Senate, Biden is credited with building a solid legislative record. Nancy Russo will join us next with the complete weather forecast. We will soon know which way this cold wind will blow and how long.
This year, Bob Rosenthal's Washington's birthday sale delivers what you want to hear most, a low price. This new 88 Acura is now just $184 a month. A new Suzuki, just $134 a month. Or this 88 Honda four-door Accord with air conditioning, just $197 a month. Now through this Monday at Rosenthal Acura and Rosenthal Suzuki in Gaithersburg, Maryland. At Landmark Honda in Alexandria, Virginia. But when this birthday is over, so are the low prices. Honest.
Of all the Japanese cars serviced by AMCO dealers, half drive away not needing a new transmission. Luck? Skill. To spot the small problems that look like big ones takes experience, and lots of it. In fact, to find a transmission specialist who's fixed more Japanese cars than AMCO, you'd probably have to take your car all the way to Japan. And they don't offer towing.
AMCO, AA, MCO. In 1955, a new company specialized in retirement plans for not-for-profit institutions. It grew beyond expectations. The company's called VALIC, and our customers are educators, hospital workers, employees of charities. What we're proudest of isn't just our growth. It's of offering effective retirement plans. VALIC's way of helping our customers help others. VALIC, providing for our customers' future by investing in America's future.
Nancy Russo joins us now with a look ahead at the weather. Nancy, the opening of the Olympics looked very cold in Calgary, but I suspect it might have been just as cold here. What do you think?
Boy, it sure was. And not only was it cold, but it was certainly a day to hang onto your hats. We had some very gusty winds all across our area today, blowing out of the north and the northwest, and sometimes during the day, our winds gusted up to near 40 miles per hour. So luckily, we did have a little sunshine here. In fact, a good deal of sunshine all across Virginia. The clouds have retreated up to the north across portions of Pennsylvania and also New York State, and that is where I'm expecting all the cloud cover to stay. Now, even though we had a good deal of sunshine, all the temperatures did not make it up above the freezing mark. We were only up to 29 degrees this afternoon at National Airport, 28 out at Dulles, 27 degrees in Baltimore, out to the west where they did have some clouds. Colder than that, only 17 degrees this afternoon in Elkins. Our temperature is dropping. It is very chilly out there. The temperature at National Airport right now is coming in at 26 degrees. The humidity 37%, and look at the winds. West-northwest 22, they are gusting to 35. The barometer is rising, but that combination of that wind and that temperature is giving us a wind chill outside right now of 3 degrees below zero. I know a lot of you have plans tonight for dinner. Saturday night, when you go out there, make sure you have the hat, the gloves, and several layers of clothing because it is pretty rough go out there, and it's going to even get colder later on tonight. Satellite view is showing all the cloud cover with that winter storm finally pulling out of the United States. Down across the south, we had no problems today. A great deal of sunshine all the way from Texas into Florida. There's a good reason for that. High pressure that filled in back behind that front has slipped all the way down into the Gulf Coast. Now, it brought some very chilly morning low temperature readings all across the southern states from Louisiana straight back into Florida. But another thing that it did today is the winds are going clockwise around that high pressure system. Brought some very warm temperatures across the state of Texas this afternoon. Temperatures there in the 70s with a great deal of sunshine. Temperatures we can only dream about right now. In fact, we are in some of the coldest weather at all in the country with temperatures generally in the teens. I have good news, though. Over the next couple of days, I think temperatures are going to definitely start to warm up. In fact, by tomorrow, after today, you're going to feel like you're going to be ready to put on some shorts. Tomorrow's weather map is showing a frontal system all the way from the Great Lakes back down into Texas. What will happen for us, high pressure will sit down to the south. Winds will switch from the north to the southwest. We like it that way in February. That means warmer temperatures on the way. Here's our forecast for tonight. It is indicating it's going to be clear and cold. Very windy early. The winds will begin to subside, I think, after midnight. But look at the low temperatures tonight. 12 degrees in the suburbs. We will be 18 degrees here in town. Tomorrow, sunny and warmer. Temperatures in the 40s. It's going to feel great. The following day, we will see an increase in cloud cover, partly sunny, breezy and mild, a high temperature near 50 degrees. And then for the next couple of days, you'll notice most of this week we will stay in the 40s. A chance of rain Monday night and Tuesday. And on Wednesday, 43 with a good deal of sunshine. So now we're getting rid of some of these sub-freezing temperatures, and we're going to try to get back to normal here.
You sucked me in, and I fell for it. You said shorts, and now I see it's 40. I'm supposed to be excited about 40.
Well, after the 20s, it's all relative.
It does sound like a bit of a break. Thank you, Nancy. With thousands of onlookers shivering from cold and excitement, the flame of the Olympic torch was carried its final steps today, setting off the start of the Calgary Winter Games. The Olympic flame was lit by a 12-year-old Canadian schoolgirl representing the future. ABC Sports is covering Calgary for the next 16 days. Tonight, as visions of a 1980s-style miracle glide through their heads, the American men's hockey team faces... Isn't that beautiful? Look at that stunning shot. Anyway, the American men's hockey team will be playing tonight. It's going to be an exciting game.
Here come the Snowbirds.
And all of the coverage is not just spectacular, but spectacularly beautiful. Kevin Kiley is next with all the hoop highlights, including the Hoya battle against the Orange Men of Syracuse. Stay with us.
New or used? The deals you want are at Tyson's Ford. During the 72-hour truckload sale, $7.2 million of inventory must be sold. Get Tauruses from $98.35, Mustang LXs from $73.95, Ranger Supercabs from $82.95, and no payments till June. Truckloads arriving daily with up to $1,000 cash back. Tyson's Ford 72-hour truckload sale. It's the place to be.
Assignment. Announce a sale in honor of George Washington's birthday.
For me? Oh, gosh.
A sale so big it can bear the name of the father of our country.
You think that much of me, huh?
You bet. Save through Monday on this GE 20-inch stereo TV. Just $297. This JVC dual cassette deck is a low $79. All for you, George.
My birthday.
At Circuit City.
Tonight's sportscast sponsored by the Bank of Baltimore.
There's your bank.
We're the best bank.
Oh, yeah, right.
And at our bank, we don't make mistakes.
We don't make mistakes.
If your bank is all talk, maybe you should talk to another bank. Any length to solve your problems.
That's not what you told me yesterday.
ABC's covering the Olympic action, so we'll start with something local.
Georgetown.
Yeah, that's good.
The Hoyas. Georgetown's never been accused of being a great offensive team, but there are few in the country that can match their defensive intensity. Syracuse couldn't today, and it cost them the game. The Orange men even brought the Orange women to the Cap Center, tried to beat the Hoyas after 5 straight losses. In Washington, looked like it might help when Ronnie Cycli gave Syracuse an early 7-point lead. But here's what Georgetown does best. They play defense. They get the steal at half court, and they will convert this eventually to a basket, as Smith will feed Perry McDonald. Now I want you to watch Smith right after this, and this is why Syracuse cannot beat Georgetown. They steal the ball, and they get another basket. It went back and forth for a while. Steve Thompson beats Georgetown on the press on that long pass, goes through Ben Guillory for a 1-point Syracuse lead. Charles Smith will then hit Jaron Jackson, and the score is tied moments later. Georgetown with the easy baskets. Between Smith and Mark Tillman, Georgetown had 6 3-pointers. Smith will get one here late in the game. That helped Georgetown pull away. They open up an 8-point lead. As Syracuse got closer, Smith played another big role in this game by handling the ball and eating up the clock. Georgetown makes up for lack of shooting by being very sound fundamentally. And with the defense and the foul shooting, it helped them to a 2-point win over Syracuse, 71-69. In New York, St. John's all over Providence. Shelton Jones finishes the fast break there. The Friars fried all day. Boo Harvey with another fast break. It was 20-12 St. John's. And then Shelton Jones again. They had no trouble with Providence. They win big, and they tie Georgetown for 4th place in the Big East. The Louisville basketball team is well known for its slow starts, but by this time of the year, the Cardinals are usually among the best in the country. And that's what NC State coach Jim Valvano was telling his players before the game in Raleigh today. Well, Jim must have gotten his point across because State came out, scored the first 10 points of the game. Chucky Brown inside made it 10-0. Chris Corchiani fed Shackelford inside. State led 14-2, and Louisville did close to 5 points finally, with help from LeBradford Smith, the young freshman. But Chucky Brown came back, got loose inside again. He'll get another easy one. State now leads by 7. By halftime, things look bleak for the Cardinals. Time running out in the first half. Vinny Del Negro takes it in, makes the basket. State had a 14-point lead. Second half, more of the same. We've seen that one before. Chucky Brown again. And then more Chucky again from Corchiani. State had very little trouble. Louisville never got in the game, never recovered from their slow start. It was 101-89 the final. Maryland tonight at home against Duke. The Terps upset Duke last time they played down in Durham. We can expect a good game. Mark Brooks and Richard Zokel are fighting for the lead after today's 3rd round of the Hawaiian Open. Tom Watson is close behind, but Tom Seekman, well, he's down the road. Seekman just a shot out of the lead after yesterday's 2nd round. Found the concrete on this hole. It's like one of mine here. He had to take a cab to get to that shot. He finished with a double bogey, and he is not, as you might expect, among the leaders. Got the old mail truck shot there. Mark Brooks finished 12 under. Sank that putt on 18. At that time, he was tied for the lead with Zokel. Here is Zokel on the 15th hole. Had to get up and down in 2. That's his chip shot. Left him about a 6-footer. No problem for Richard as he knocked that one in right here.
The putts you need to make. It's right on.
And going into the last hole, he is now at -14. He's 2 shots up on Brooks. Tom Watson is at -11, tied with Lanny Watkins. Here at Channel 7 Sports, bowling is our life, and that's why we, beginning tonight, are going to show you the spare of the week. This is not my idea. It was selected by our producer, Barry Orr, who does not bowl, and so our first spare of the week is a strike. Today's honoree is Tom Milton, who needed to win all 4 of his games today to make top prize in the $150,000 Miami Classic. And that, folks, was the spare of the week. Tom's strike in the 6th frame. Thank you, Barry. It was his 5th strike of the first 6 frames of a 233 game. He beat Rick Steelsmith 233 to 221. That will be an ongoing feature here, I understand.
It'd be hard to get one that good again.
Yeah, that was really a great one. Yeah.
Kevin, thank you very much. So, how are you spending your weekend? Watching the start of the Olympics, or curled up with a tax manual, or watching the spare of the week? We'll have some tips when we return.
All Washington's turning on.
Tell us why you turn on Magnum.
It's actually very simple. Magnum is 100% Hawaiian sun-baked beefcake.
Tell us why you turn on Magnum.
I like a man with charm and elegance, so I add a little romance to tea time with Higgins.
Tell us why you turn on Magnum.
My research shows that when I watch Magnum, my hormone levels go off scale. Now that's chemistry.
So at 4 o'clock,
turn on Magnum.
Everyone else does.
You know what fouls me up? First, the Lustine car stores give you a heck of a deal. Like this.
Now through Monday, during the Washington's Birthday Overstock Sale, you'll save $500 to $4,000 on over 2,000 cars, trucks, and vans.
Then they guarantee to beat any deal by $300, or they'll pay you 10 grand. You know what happens? I can't see the game.
This one's cream.
The D.C. Lottery and Charitable Games Control Board is proud to present this Black History vignette.
I would say that Martin's dream is alive, it is well, it's being fulfilled on a daily basis. But on the other hand, wherever there's injustice, the dream has not been fulfilled. And wherever there's a lack of economic opportunity, the dream has not been fulfilled. Hopefully, I myself will help to make this a little bit better place for all of us to live in this place called Earth.
Banks are famous for making people wait in lines. You come in to cash a check, and by the time you get home, the kids are grown. Well, Crestar has a new policy about lines. They don't like them. Anytime things get busy and this line gets too long, everyone at the bank who's not with a customer gets up to help. After all, banks should wait on people, not vice versa.
No one likes to think about it, but we're just 2 months away from the IRS tax deadline. This year, figuring what we owe can be a bit harder thanks to changes in all the rules. Money expert Steve Crowley is trying to make it easier with part 2 of his rundown on those changes.
That's from the credit union.
Credit union.
Chris and Reverend Bob Carver are concerned about Tax Time 88 and how they'll make out on their refund. They don't believe tax reform has helped matters.
I think our taxes will be higher this year because of the tax reform. Mostly because we're in a very low bracket, and that bracket has been raised with the 2-bracket system.
Probably not. What Chris is talking about is the big jump between tax brackets. There are really 5 brackets for last year, 87. That's down to 2 major brackets, 15 and 28% for 88. Yes, these rates seem quite low, but as our incomes climb, we can take a leap into higher brackets. And this hurts 2-income families with big incomes. But the Carvers earn just under $35,000 a year between them. That's important to remember because even for 87, the big jump in rates comes at $28,000 of taxable income. A 15% tax rate below it, 28% or more above it. So for 87, married couples with incomes below $28,000 shouldn't have much of a problem. The Carvers give a full 1/10 of their income to charity. That's their biggest tax break. They don't own a home, but this and other deductions lets them itemize. I'd recommend a small IRA deduction too, say $500, which they could deduct, but money's tight.
We had an IRA in, well, we've had IRAs several years, 1984, 1985, we were able to put some aside, but in the last 3 years, we haven't been able to.
One more tax consideration for the Carvers. They had a big casualty loss. Their home was robbed. They lost thousands of dollars in property. Now they'll file Form 4684 to claim that casualty loss, and it will boost their itemized deductions. In my next report, I'll have some advice about income tax preparers. Do you need one or not? I'm Steve Crowley, News 7.
That's it for tonight. We will be live tonight from New Hampshire. Watch the Olympics tonight and then join us at 11. See you.